Now to China. Originally, we had this item booked in a couple of weeks ago to look at Chinese New Year and the Year of the Rat and to learn a little more about the country and culture from a local expert. But with the rise of the coronavirus in the country, the news has taken over us somewhat. The situation is changing hourly, but so far we know it's killed at least 56 people and infected almost 2,000 since its discovery in the city of Wuhan. And now those numbers were as of 4 a.m. this morning, so they may even have changed since then. Chinese President Xi has warned the country is facing a grave situation. Now, Kerry Allen is from Peterborough. She's one of our BBC colleagues who spends her days quite literally studying China. She's with me this morning to give us the latest. Kerry, on a lighter note, you have got the best job title in the world. What exactly is it that you do for the BBC?
Well, if you think about the kind of stuff anybody does after they finish work for the day, you know, you go home, you watch TV, you listen to the radio, you look on your social media feeds. I basically do that for work, but I do it all in Chinese. So yeah, I'm looking across Chinese social media platforms, newspapers, watching Chinese TV, and picking up those stories that are not necessarily being reported in English, or we can get into the nitty gritty on.
So basically, you play on the internet for a job.
Yeah.
Hey, I could come and work for you. And then how does that relate into the BBC? Because I'm guessing you're sort of news gathering, then translating and then putting it back out on our platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. Normally in the morning, what I do is I'll find 3 stories, either ones that we're doing and we need a lot more information on, or ones that I spot that are completely new and completely random. And I think, God, we should be reporting on this. And I pull this together, and it goes out to news gathering. So, you know, there's video footage people might need. It goes to the website, so it gives people ideas about new pieces that need to be written, and radio and TV teams, and then I do interviews, etc.
And you say translate. So I'm assuming you can speak Mandarin pretty well.
Yeah, I can speak it fluently. Not
but
Cantonese.
How? We didn't learn it. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say the Hong Kong story was actually quite troublesome for me. I mean, with all the protests going on, because I don't speak Cantonese, which is widely spoken down there. But Mandarin, the whole of the big area of China, I can do that.
But how did you? I mean, did you study it at university? How were you fluent in Mandarin?
Yeah, so I started studying at university. So I only started when I was 18 over in Nottingham, and I wasn't very good. And when I graduated, I thought I'm actually going to go out for a year in China and see if I can get better at this. And I just absolutely fell in love with the country. People are really motivating. Even if you can speak 2 words, they say your Chinese is really good. Aww. And I just decided to keep studying.
So how then? On a lighter note, on a more serious note rather, do you feel when a country that you're so attached to is in the news for negative reasons like the coronavirus? I mean, are there people out there that you're friends with that you're worried about, or do you have to detach yourself as a journalist?
I mean, I am really worried about this at the moment. I mean, one of the things that surprised me is the timing of this. It couldn't actually be worse timing. It's meant to be. Spring Festival, the Chinese New Year, is China's version of Christmas. It's a time where you return home, you spend time with your family, you cook meals together, and suddenly nobody wants to go out. You know, normally they go and watch parades as well or set off firework displays, but people are very much wanting to stay inside their home. They are panicked, and normally what will happen is, we know that China's a country that's got a very restrictive media environment anyway, so there's censorship in the country. But even the people who would normally be censoring content have gone on holiday themselves. So there is this big sense of panic online, and people are trying to stay positive because Xi Jinping's obviously been trying to motivate people, tell people that the medical professionals are doing the most they can. They're building hospitals in literally 7 days, like 25,000 square meter hospitals. There's positivity coming out, but at the same time, down at grassroots level, people are really nervous.
Where do you think we'll be a week from now? Because it feels like the story's changing hourly, especially in terms of where the new infections are being found. Where can you see it going in a week? What do you think can be done?
Well, I think this is going to be a really interesting week because now that we are officially in the year of the rat, people who've travelled to see their family, they're now going to be travelling back. So you think of this big influx that people have been taking via Wuhan as well, like where this virus started. And I can't stress enough, Wuhan in China is the equivalent of Birmingham. It's right in the centre of everything. It's got big transit train stations, airports, etc. And people need to get back now to start their jobs, etc. So there is going to be a lot of concern, worry, delays, and so the economy is going to take a hit. yeah, people might not be able to get home in time. They're going to be worried that they have to get home to see their families. And also, I mean, one thing I'm really concerned about is the World Health Organization saying this is not yet an international crisis.
Yet.
So suggesting it could be, yeah.
So how would you then work, sort of very briefly, if you can, over the next week? Does that mean you now just have to pull double, triple shifts, or is your week now really pressured?
I think it continues as normal. I mean, I tend to do a lot of stuff sometimes live from Peterborough in the evening anyway. I've got a little headset. So I will do interviews outside of my usual working hours. But I mean, a good thing is that we do have teams in, say, Singapore and Beijing as well. So they do a lot of the overnight stuff. And also BBC Chinese have a fantastic reporter in the US. So normally when I'm leaving for the day, she's arriving. So yeah,
it's all covered.
Yeah.
And finally, the year of the rat, just to sort of make us leave the show with a little bit of positivity. What can you tell us about it? Is good fortune about to fall on us all?
Well, I mean, I think of the rat in two ways. I mean, officially, it's known as the rat signified with like wit and humour. Obviously, you know, a lot of people think rats are dirty and they think of hygiene, and you know that's ironic given this whole virus at the moment. But also, I mean, you know, I'm a sucker for rodents. I've got 4 guinea pigs. The rats, you know, they're cute animals. They're friendly animals. They love a cuddle. And they're also very intelligent. And, you know, it's going to be a case of, is China going to be this smart country that wins hearts by being able to control this? Or is it going to be this filthy animal that, oh, gosh, yeah, basically, you know, we are going to see this epidemic. So we don't know yet.
Kerry, Allen, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck with all the work, and perhaps we can chat to you next week to see how the story's moved on.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. See you soon.